It's round 3 of the NCAA tournament and the madness continues. Good evening, I'm Veronica Rohrmoser with your NCC Sports. It's a typical bruising Big East battle you might expect to see in the Carrier Dome as number 3 Syracuse takes on Marquette. But a frustrating finish in Cleveland means an early exit for one team. The Orange looking to advance to the Sweet 16 for a third year in a row with a redemption win over the Golden Eagles. And the start looks promising. Syracuse with the lead 10-5 as Brandon Trish throws it up for the alley-oop to CJ Fair. Syracuse widening the gap. But it would be Marquette's Jimmy Butler right before the half, down by the baseline, shot, and Syracuse would head to the locker room down 3 at the half after leading 19-9. Coming back, Trish drives to the basket, lands hard on. He would leave the game with a bruised tailbone and would not return. Pretty upset there, and guess that's why they call it the hardwood. Now under 5 minutes to play, and Rick Jackson with the ball hands it off to Chris Joseph, who flies in for the two-handed dunk. 12 points for Joseph. 2 minutes to go, and Jay Crowder with the 3 would tie it up at 59. Crowder would have 16 points, and off a timeout, Dion Waiters inbounding for the Orange and throws it up too close to the midcourt line. Scoop Jardine would be called here as he tiptoed for a backcourt violation on the midcourt line. Would give the ball up to Marquette, just 51 seconds to play, and a long 3 for Johnson Odom with the shot of his career. Jardine misses a final attempt, and Marquette with the upset, 66-62. That's the second straight early exit for SU. After the game, players Scoop Jardine and Dion Waiters tried to save face after the disappointing loss.
We called it was the better team. We went to the line 7 times, and we still was winning the whole game, you know, or winning the game at the end of the game. So we called it was the better team. They made the best plays on the stretch to win the game.
We the better team, man. 18 turnovers. First game, probably had like 7 turnovers. Just things like this, you just can't make mistakes like that. You just can't. And, you know, we made them, and you see what happened.
Marquette is moving on to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2003. The Golden Eagles will play North Carolina on Friday. And to the hardwood of the boys high school Class A state championship game. Jamesville DeWitt looking to make it 4 in a row as the defending champs match up with the Harbor Fields Tornadoes. State championships never get old for the Red Rams, especially with Kentucky head coach John Calipari on hand to scout out top recruiting prospect Dajuan Coleman. In the first quarter, off the miss, and Tyler Kavanaugh there for the putback. He would have 22 points on the day for him. And JD opens the game on an 11-0 run, including Demetrius Mitchell with his 3, and the Red Rams would be up 41-20 at the half. The second half, Dajuan Coleman with the basket and the foul. Coleman again here with the dunk, and the Red Rams would win their 4th consecutive state championship in convincing fashion, 66-51 your final score. Coleman is named the MVP with 22 points and 16 rebounds. Certainly can't hurt his stock in front of Calipari. Rumors circulate Coleman is considering both Kentucky and Syracuse. And the number 1 Syracuse men's lacrosse team continues its trek to another national title as they face off with 9th-seeded Johns Hopkins at the Dome. The Orange and the Blue Jays are the nation's winningest programs, holding half of the 40 championship titles between the two. That's 20. This matchup would showcase why. Coach John Desko is trying to keep up the momentum as they head into the game. SU skip ahead now to the third quarter. It's tied up, and the Blue Jays' Zach Palmer puts one in, giving Hopkins a 4-3 lead. Under 2 minutes to play now, and Hughes with a shot. Joseph Amadon finds Stephen Keogh, who lets it rip, tying it up and sending the game into overtime. Now in OT, just seconds left, and Kyle Wharton would come from the back with the game winner. But wait, the refs wave it off. Wharton lands in the crease on the shot attempt, so no goal. And that means a double overtime and sudden death. Right off the opening face-off, Jeremy Thompson to Keogh, and for the second time this week, Steve Keogh wins it on the last shot of the game. Syracuse survived a scare and pulled a win with 5-4 over the Blue Jays. SU holding on to its perfect season at 6-0, and the Orange head to Villanova on Saturday to face the number 7 Wildcats. And the SU football team may still be in spring practice, but it's already had its first loss of the season. Sophomore tight end Beckett Wales has announced he is leaving the team and the university for personal reasons. Wales played in 10 of 13 games last season and was expected to push senior Nick Provo for playing time this year. Coach Doug Marone seems hopeful Wales will return, saying he looks forward to him coming back at an appropriate time. Meanwhile, the team suited up today in full pads as Coach Marone looks to build depth at each position and fill the 10 starting positions left open by the team's graduating seniors. Marone says he's hoping the team can build back quickly, while sophomore center Mackie McPherson says they're just excited to be getting into some tougher drills.
You know, you never start where you left off, and you have an expectation of, you know, hey, here we go, let's start where we picked off, but you can't. You know, our foundation and our fundamentals, you know, today, you know, we just worked on some tackling, worked on some blocking, but, you know, they need to increase, and we have to make sure that everyone understands we have a long way to go.
It was very hot in there, but we got used to it, especially by the time we got the hit in the first team period. That was a lot of fun, and it was just nice to get back into the juice of things, you know, and we were all playing well, competing well, and I think, you know, it was a lot of fun just for the first day of pads.
The team will play an intra-squad scrimmage in Rochester on Saturday, and that'll do it here for NCC Sports. I'm Veronica Rohrmoser. Lauren, how does your bracket look?
It looks terrible, Veronica. After last night's loss, Duke, I had them going all the way. That loss to Arizona broke my heart.
Yeah, mine's pretty terrible too. It looks pretty though with all the red X's all over it, so you know.
Red is a good color, but not if you're looking for bragging rights on your bracket. Stay with us. Weather's next.